We frequently begin to consider how we spend our money more carefully after we retire. However, the happiest retirees I've encountered didn't simply reduce their expenditures. Particularly when it came to food and health, they became more deliberate about their expenditures and, more significantly, completely ceased spending on certain things. In today's video, we'll look at 7 particular food and health-related goods that sensible, content retirees have decided to give up. Not because they gave up, but rather because they discovered what genuinely nourishes the body, mind, and spirit, and what just empties the pocketbook. These are more than just financial advice. These decisions are based on awareness, self-respect, and the freedom to live well without being swayed by fear or trends. This video is for you if you've ever wondered, do I really need all this? After looking at your grocery bill or medication cupboard, together, let's explore these 7 factors and see what a happier, healthier retirement might truly entail. 1 pricey, too optimistic health supplement. You may be among the many retirees who have spent years or even decades purchasing bottles of pills, powders, and capsules that promised increased vitality, improved memory, stronger joints, gorgeous skin, or even a longer life. The labels are always convincing, the claims are nearly mystical, and the language is frequently scientific. It promotes brain health, increases metabolism, and delays aging. But eventually, something begins to feel strange. The kitchen drawer overflows, the bathroom cupboard fills up, and the outcomes are frequently unsatisfactory or worse, non-existent. I've spoken to the happiest retirees, and they all agree. At one point, they posed a straightforward but impactful question to themselves. Does this help me, or does it just give me hope? And when they gave honest answers, they discovered that they were spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars annually on supplements that did little more than temporarily give them a sense of control. This is the harsh reality. The Food and Drug Administration does not regulate the majority of these items. This implies that they can make a lot of claims on the label without really demonstrating its efficacy. Sadly, those who are most concerned about their health are also the ones who are most susceptible to these claims. People that wish to remain independent, intelligent, and active are like you. Does this imply that all supplements are harmful? Not at all. Some are really beneficial, particularly if a reputable physician recommends them. Vitamin D, calcium, or, in some situations, vitamin B12. However, purchasing 10 bottles each month from a glitzy website or TV commercial is not wise. That is spending motivated by dread. Instead, contented retirees have opted for something far more straightforward and potent. They emphasize authentic cuisine. They undergo routine medical examinations. Their bodies are in motion. They maintain their social ties. Eventually, they come to trust their body's messages once more rather than masking them with medication. When you start living with consistent, grounded care, instead of pursuing miracle cures, you experience a calm kind of freedom. You save money, you save space, and most importantly, you save energy. Emotional energy that was previously utilized to worry if this product will eventually make you feel young again. Warning, spoilers, no product is capable of doing that. However, there is a life that does, and it begins when we refuse to allow the supplement industry to take away our own fear. 2 nutritious but unhealthy snacks. Everybody has been there. A bright, sparkling container with labels like low-fat, keto-friendly, gluten-free, or zero guilt appears when you enter the grocery shop. It's a granola bar, a high-fiber chip, or perhaps a protein cookie. It appears to be healthy. It seems like a wise decision and sounds healthful. After all, we've been instructed for years to stay away from sweets, cut back on fat, eat more protein, and eat clean snacks. However, an increasing number of contented retirees are realizing this. A product is not necessarily healthy just because it is advertised as such. In actuality, a lot of these purportedly healthful snacks are laden with processed substances, artificial sweeteners, chemical preservatives, and additional sugars that your body does not need or recognize. Examine the labels on a few of these bags and bars. You may be surprised to learn that there are at least 20 substances, half of which you can't even pronounce. The unfortunate irony is that many people choose these snacks believing they are making a better decision when, in fact, they are simply selecting a different type of junk food that is dressed up. The happiest retirees I know claim that when they quit stocking their cupboards with these phony health foods, they feel better, think more clearly, and even sleep better. This is the lovely part. They continued to eat snacks. They simply switched up their snack. They keep things simple rather than using packaged diet snacks. Greek yogurt with a dash of cinnamon, a piece of dark chocolate, an apple slice with peanut butter, and a tiny handful of nuts. Your granny might be familiar with these foods. Snacks made using actual ingredients. Snacks that don't deceive your body with artificial crunch or sweetness. Here's something else worth mentioning. The process of taking your time making a genuine snack. Making a cup of tea, warming up some soup, or slicing a banana can all be as nourishing as the food itself. It turns into a little routine that allows you to breathe, check in with yourself, and respect your body's demands with consideration rather than convenience. Many retirees reported that once they broke free from the never-ending cycle of grab and go, they felt more in the moment, stopped eating out of stress or boredom, and began paying attention to their hunger. Sincere hunger, not sentimental chatter. Therefore, take a moment to reflect the next time you see that eye-catching label in the store stating that it is guilt-free. Is this snack attempting to market me something or assist me? Because those who are chasing the newest health eating trend are not the happiest retirees. They are the ones who savor the straightforward, authentic, fulfilling foods that nourish the body and the mind. 3. Price-tagged meal subscription boxes. Over the past few years, meal delivery services have grown in popularity. Businesses promise to make dinner quick, simple, and enjoyable by delivering boxes of pre-measured goods to your house, along with colorful recipe cards and instructions. It looks like a fantastic concept at first, especially for retirees. No food waste, no need to visit the grocery shop, and perhaps even an opportunity to try something new. However, many retirees start to notice something different after a few months. The cost. The cost of these subscription services is high. You are frequently spending more than $12 per chunk when you break it down. Tips, taxes, and the additional expense of relying on a business for something as intimate and significant as eating are not included in that. It seems convenient at first, but eventually it begins to feel like a detachment from your kitchen, your routines, and even your personal preferences. A similar narrative is told by contented retirees who have abandoned meal kits. They eventually came to the realization that they were spending more money on unsatisfactory meals than they had ever spent cooking for themselves. The experience of selecting their own veggies at the market was something they missed. They missed the aroma of onions frying in olive oil, their favorite knife, and their peaceful cooking time. Not only the Last Supper, but the entire process was something they missed. More significantly, they came to a deeper realization. Food preparation is an act of care, even if it is done simply and in a little way. It's a means of maintaining ties to your home, heritage, and health. You are aware of the ingredients when you prepare your own food. The oil, sugar, and salt are all under your control. You modify recipes to suit your preferences. You cook enough to share or keep for later, and you make use of what is in season. Happy retirees frequently go back to their old favorites rather than relying on pricey packaging. For 3 days, they prepare a pot of soup. On Sundays, they roast veggies. Homemade dinners are frozen for later. Additionally, they take pleasure in the rhythm of shopping, chopping, seasoning, tasting, and serving, not as a chore but as a kind way to nourish life. Let's be clear now, there is nothing wrong with occasionally seeking assistance. Additionally, meal kits may be helpful for some people while they are recovering or transitioning, but many people find that they are spending more for less freedom when they live a regular lifestyle. You are given portions of the food. There are few options, and the pleasure of eating, which is more than just taste, is frequently lost. Therefore, if you've ever felt that your kitchen is no longer your friend, perhaps it's time to get back in touch, not by spending more money, but by spending wisely. Choose a recipe that you used to adore. Go shopping with a buddy. Chop slowly. Listen to music. Invite someone over and see how cooking a dish you've chosen from beginning to end or with care feels different. Because when the happiest retirees cancel their meal, subscriptions, they do more than just save money. They are finding something much more valuable again. The peaceful, consistent joy of preparing meals in their own kitchen according to their preferences, or superfoods that are popular but also expensive. Magazines, wellness blogs, and social media are always promoting new culinary trends. It's chia seeds one year, acai berries come next, matcha green tea, spirulina powder, turmeric lattes, collagen peptides, or imported mushrooms, all of which are more expensive than a satisfying dinner, come next. These are regarded as superfoods, and they are frequently marketed as miraculous fixes for challenging health issues. Improve your brain, repair your digestive system, reduce inflammation, and extend your life. However, a lot of contented retirees have discovered this. Superfoods are frequently very costly. Furthermore, they are not miracle workers, even though some of them might provide minor advantages. Even worse, they can gradually deplete your finances while deceiving you into believing that you are taking excellent care of your body. Let's use an illustration. Goji berries could cost $20 per bag, $35 or more for a tiny jar of matcha powder. Collagen beverages can cost more than $50 for a 2-week supply. These costs mount up fast, particularly if you start using them every day. The superfood and supplement industries are based on fear, haste, and hope. Additionally, retirees are frequently the largest target, particularly those who are worried about aging, memory, and mobility. Instead, contented retirees have turned their focus from expensive imported powders and exotic fruits to the cuisine of their childhood. Foods that are affordable, simple to prepare, and good for the body and the pocketbook. Sweet potatoes, dark leafy greens, oats, beans, seasonal berries, garlic, and olive oil are other examples. With generations of tradition behind them, they are true superfoods. Not merely marketing. The shift in perspective is even more potent. You start to trust your body once more when you stop following the newest health craze. You decelerate. You prepare more meals. You consider what is nourishing rather than merely what is in style. Simple eating makes them feel more grounded, according to contented retirees. They are no longer pursuing assurances from a pouch or a bottle. Instead of responding to every new article or advertisement, they are living intentionally. Not to mention, many of the world's healthiest people, from rural Japan to the Mediterranean, don't consume fashionable seeds or packaged powders. They love eating rather than trying to hack it, and they eat fresh, locally, and with others. The next time you come across a product that promises to permanently improve your health, take a moment to consider your options. Is this food or is it marketing, you ask? In actuality, your body doesn't require a miracle. It must be consistent. It requires affection. Instead of hype, it requires food that is vibrant, colorful, and rich in history. The happiest retirees I've encountered have stopped purchasing superfoods after coming to a crucial realization. Their well-being is not for sale. Their happiness stems from what has always been good, straightforward, and sufficient rather than from something new, and their serenity is not in a powder. 5. Fancy health drinks that are really simply sugar. When they drink something that says vitamin, energy, detox, or probiotic, many individuals think they are improving their health. These beverages are packaged in attractive bottles with eye-catching labels like clean hydration, supports immunity, or gut-friendly. However, this is what a lot of contented retirees have discovered. A drink is not necessarily nutritious just because it sounds that way. Let's examine it more closely. For instance, vitamin water frequently has artificial sweeteners or additional sugars to improve its flavor. Even those that claim to be sugar-free typically contain chemical substitutes that your body must still metabolize. Promoted as a fermented probiotic beverage, kombucha may have as much sugar as a tiny soda. Additionally, improper storage may cause it to lose the advantages that initially drew its attractiveness. The content of these beverages is not the only issue. It's the way they give you the impression that you're doing something good. In actuality, you may be ingesting unneeded sugar, acids, caffeine, or processed ingredients that are bad for your health. They encourage people to pursue health tricks rather than rely on straightforward, tried-and-true decisions. Many contented retirees claim that they used to purchase these beverages on a weekly or even daily basis. They drank them in between meals, stored a few in the refrigerator, and thought they were improving their digestion or giving them more energy. They may have been more fat, anxious, or reliant on these products, but over time, they saw no discernible changes in their mood. What did they do then? They returned to the fundamentals. They began consuming more water, plain, filtered, or paired with a cucumber or lemon slice. Throughout the day, they drank herbal teas. In the evening, they drank chamomile. After lunch, they drank mint, and when they felt queasy, they drank ginger. They use basic components like bananas, berries, spinach, and water to make smoothies at home. It's not spectacular, but it's really nutritious. Some even started engaging in what could be referred to as deliberate hydration. This entails making thoughtful drink choices and asking yourself, is this truly serving my body, or am I just buying into the label? After making this change, they experience more than just improved digestion and less headaches. When they stood in front of the refrigerated aisle, they saw less clutter, more tranquilly, and less decision fatigue, looking for the healthiest bottle. And this is a profound realization. Our bodies were meant to be simple. Water is not dull, it is necessary. Tea is not a simple beverage. It is a part of many therapeutic practices worldwide and is soothing and grounding. The happiest retirees stopped purchasing health beverages because they were more concerned, not because they no longer cared. They began respecting the quiet ones instead of pursuing ostentatious advantages. Clear skin, peaceful thoughts, and balanced energy, not from a fashionable beverage, but from consistent, profound sustenance. 6. Excessive organic or upscale groceries. We've been told for years that organic is better, safer, healthier, and cleaner. And this is true in a lot of ways. Selecting food that is produced without chemical fertilizers or dangerous pesticides can benefit the environment and your health. However, contented retirees have realized that not all gourmet food is essential, and not all organic food is worth the cost. You might see exquisite displays when you enter a posh grocery store. A box of organic blueberries costs $12. Italian-made artisan pasta costs $10 a bag. Himalayan pink salt from a unique mine or olive oil infused with gold particles. It's alluring. It appears sophisticated. It seems opulent. Additionally, it feels justified if you are making an effort to eat well. But let's take a moment. The happiest retirees frequently tell me that they used to spend a lot more money than they actually required at these kinds of establishments. They were pursuing the idea of perfect cuisine, not because they were eating more. They thought they would be healthy for longer if they could just eat the purest, highest quality version. However, they found that intention is more important than image. An imported snack with a $10 label is significantly less nutritious than a homemade soup made with normal carrots and cabbage from the local market. A fashionable grain bowl with unpronounceable ingredients is inferior to a straightforward salad made with local greens and lemon juice. Organic doesn't have to be expensive. Seasonal pesticide-free vegetables is reasonably priced at many farmers' markets. Clean ingredient generic brands are available at certain local retailers. Additionally, washing traditional food thoroughly can sometimes be sufficient, particularly if it encourages you to consume more vegetables overall. What about gourmet goods? A wonderful supper can be prepared without old balsamic vinegar or truffle oil. The price of food is not what makes it feel exceptional. It's the attention you give it. A $12 frozen entree from a specialty aisle will never compare to a bowl of soup prepared with love and memories. Numerous contented retirees reported that this change was emotionally beneficial to them. They no longer compared their dishes to those they saw in culinary shows or on the internet. They released themselves from the pressure to follow the latest health fad. And there, they reunited with a more subdued knowledge. Eat simply, season well, and take your time. I want to be clear, treating yourself occasionally is very acceptable. If a particular organic product or gourmet ingredient makes you happy, hold on to it. However, it's a good idea to take stock when the grocery bill starts to feel out of line with your values, or when the shopping list starts to cause you worry. The happiest retirees are aware of this. You shouldn't have anxiety when eating. It shouldn't leave your wallet lighter and your kitchen lonelier, nor should it make you feel condemned. You should feel a connection to your past, your health, and the people you share it with through food. 7. Guilt marketing, cleanses, and diet shakes. Many of us have glanced in the mirror at some point in our lives and thought, maybe I need to lose a few pounds. At that moment, we were met with a barrage of products, including cleanse kits, detox teas, diet shakes, and slim-down smoothies, all of which promise significant improvements and rapid results. The labels state things like, reset your body, jumpstart your metabolism, and flatten your belly. It sounds good. It's similar to taking charge. Additionally, it frequently comes in gentle hues with happy models that embody concepts like self-care and well-being. However, contented retirees have realized this. Health is not the main focus of the products. They have to do with guilt. They try to make you feel inadequate. That maybe if you just drank this shake or followed this regimen, you would finally be acceptable since you are not young enough, disciplined enough, or skinny enough. It's a serious message to convey. In actuality, a lot of these goods are empty of nutrients in addition to being mentally harmful. Although a shake may be low in calories, it may also be low in satisfaction. For a few days, a cleanse may make you feel lighter, but it rarely improves your long-term health. Because these items aren't meant to heal you, the cycle never stops. They are made to entice you to return. The happiest retirees reported that they eventually made the decision to get off the treadmill. They began counting moments instead of calories. They began pursuing happiness instead of thinness. They started asking how I felt instead of how I looked, and this is what they found. Reducing oneself is not the goal of true health. It has to do with helping oneself. Denying your body is not the point. It's about hearing it. Eat when you're hungry and stop when you're satisfied. Resting guilt-free and moving because it feels nice. And allowing eating to be a source of enjoyment rather than punishment. Gentle routines, such as eating more slowly, exercising after dinner, or beginning the day with a healthy breakfast, helped some people find serenity. Others allowed themselves to indulge in dessert once again. Not every night, but when it counts. It's a celebration rather than a habit. Most significantly, they reinterpreted the definition of health. Not a flat stomach or a number on a scale, but vitality, balance, clarity, and a physique that still affirms life. There may be wrinkles on that physique. It may go more slowly. It may not look the same as it did 30 years ago, but it is wise and deserving of respect. Therefore, be aware of this. If you have ever purchased a thing that made you feel both hopeful and humiliated, you are not to blame. Insecurity is the foundation of the industry. However, you have the option to leave that loop. You have the power to make decisions about what to eat, how to move, and how to maintain the long, lovely life you already lead. Happy retirees no longer allowed guilt to control them, therefore they stopped purchasing diet items. Instead, they opted for compassion. They discovered a new form of health as a result.